ASCII Entertainment. A mysterious darkness conquered the island of Marinette. There was either a god or a demon who controlled the island, and no one tried to go there. A high elf in the forest told of a blue light that came down from the sky and struck the island. The blue light penetrated deep into the island's underworld. For hundreds of years, the island had been carved by people who were challenged and destroyed by the island's energy. Legends say, never approach the island, for a sleeping beast in the darkness waits for a great awakening.
Hello YouTube and welcome to Storyteller Plays Kingsfield. Now, this game looks rather old, and that's because it is. This is actually a game from my childhood, so I figured, well, I'm coming back from quite a bit of a hiatus. I might as well play something I enjoy. I don't know how I'm going to sync the audio and the video. I'm recording them separately. I don't know if I sound any better than usual. I know that the microphone I'm using, it is the Blue Yeti Blackout Edition. It was a bit pricey, but I figured I might as well. It's doing this odd thing where if I'm leaning to the left, it plays out of one ear. If I'm leaning to the right, it plays out of the other. I mean, it makes sense. No, don't start this again. Actually, that might be a good way to sync the audio and video. Anyway, let's begin. So, I played this game a lot. When I was young, the first system I ever got was actually a Sony PlayStation 1, followed shortly afterwards by a Game Boy. Now, as you can see, I played a little bit, just to get myself familiar with the game again. I'm going to start a new game for purposes of this Let's Play, though. I've actually beaten this game before, but never without cheating, and I certainly didn't do everything the game has to offer. So I can't promise this is going to be a complete playthrough, but I can promise I'm going to do as much as I can find. It's been a while. Oh, I have to also apologize. This microphone is amazing, which unfortunately also means that you can hear all of the little button presses. Okay, so this thing I'm kiting can kill me in one hit, or at least if it pushes me into the water. But I want this sword. Okay, it's got its back to me. I should be fine. Now, as long as these fish don't kill me, I'm in good shape. Okay, I'm in good shape. Oops. Now, it's always a good idea when you first start to run around and collect these items that you can see me getting. I don't know if anybody's going to follow along, but this is an amazing game. If I play the intro, which I should for copyright reasons, it's by From Software. A lot of people know them as the people who made Dark Souls. And I'm not entirely sure, but I think that the guys behind that are also behind this. This is obviously a Dark Souls Lite. It is the great-great-grandfather or something. Or at least the father of Dark Souls. Demon's Souls, not counting, I guess. Although I believe Trusty Patches was in Demon's Souls, so it's all the same group. The only one I really don't count is Dark Souls 2. You can tell if it was a good, true Souls game by the appearance of patches. On that note, Dark Souls 2 isn't bad. So that thing I just picked up is a fire crystal. You can use magic in this game. Magic is actually a pretty big part of it, as you will find out later, hopefully. Seath from Dark Souls, that magic dragon, the scaleless one, he's in here, and he's actually the good guy, which is canonically correct, because Seath was a good guy until his quest for immortality changed him or whatever. This was before his crystal. In fact, this was probably before the age of fire started dying out, but I don't think that the lore is exactly the same. Okay, so the last bit of kit you're going to find here is in this chest. There's an iron mask. So you can come over here, use the fire crystal. I don't believe there's any way to skip this. I learned magic that way. You can go over here to equipment. I don't have a shield yet, but you can equip fireball, iron mask, and breastplate. I can also come up here to dagger. I am super sorry for all the clicking. Hopefully my voice is a tiny bit louder than it is. Maybe I can find a way to fix it. I should probably have researched this microphone more before starting. I also probably should have set a timer. I don't know how long I've been in here. Okay, so you can cast magic with triangle. I don't get a mana potion for quite a while, so that was perhaps a waste. So if you do want to play this game though, the best strategy, and I didn't learn this until I was playing most recently, Dark Souls has actually made me better at this. So you have to try to sneak up behind the enemy because you turn around super slowly, but so does everything else, so it works in your favor. Oops. So that is a healing fountain, or well. You're going to want to drink from that if you take damage. Another good strategy. This is the one I used when I first played this. Now, you probably saw copyright 1995. This game is old. It's about as old as I am, or at least the American release, I think. Maybe it wasn't released in America until 1996. Oh, I'm taking heavy damage. But that's good because these earth herbs are also a healing item. I possibly backed myself into a corner here. I just kind of have to kill off one of them as fast as possible. I just wasted a fire spell. That's fine. Mana is actually very limited in the beginning of the game, but I don't know, roughly an hour in, faster if you're a speedrunner kind of guy. I'm not. You can, whoops, get the yellow, well, red potion. Oops, you'll see what I mean when I get there. We'll burn those bridges when we get to them. Whoops. Now if you don't actually push the right button, you're going to drop the items, which is more of an inconvenience than anything. It really doesn't ruin anything unless you're actively running from a monster. Another thing I learned about this game that I didn't know back when I was 7 or so was you're never in as much danger as you think you are, but the moment you become complacent, you're going to die, kind of like in Dark Souls. Only in Dark Souls you are in genuine danger almost all of the time. So that's kind of appropriate. One of these has a bloodstone, or not. I must be thinking of somewhere else in the game. Okay. So I didn't learn this until a while ago, but, well, it took me a while to actually find this. This door is where I want to go. There's monsters in there, blah blah blah. But as you can see, I picked up a lot of stuff, and I killed some monsters. Don't think I leveled yet, but, you know, everything is done in due time. So I'm going to want to come this way and save. There are hidden items in all of the walls. Not all of them, but they're spread around pretty well. I don't know where most of them are. I might look up a walkthrough for those only. You know, just for completion's sake. Okay, there we go, I leveled. As you can see, when more than one monster at a time comes after you, it can be difficult. Just gotta keep kiting them. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, forget them. So if you jump down here, if behind this door, so these are guideposts. I genuinely can't do anything with them quite yet. I'm just going to save over my level 8 character because I was just sort of testing stuff. Now there are cheat codes for this game, obviously, and without a game genie it's easier to do, but I won't be doing that. Where is the bloodstone I was talking about earlier? Anyway, this guy has something called a Stargate. No, not that one. And if I can find the star key, I'll put it in a guidepost. And using the gate, I can teleport as many times as I want to that guidepost. This game has an odd habit of trapping you. And it does it a lot. I think it gets off on it, if that's an appropriate joke to make. So these guys poison you, which is a bit of an annoyance. But these green slime puddles, they will damage you if you step on them, but they'll also take away your poison, which is something I also didn't learn until I was a tiny bit older. Ow, see? I think it was it. Yeah, I just touched it and I took a small amount of damage. I played this game a lot. I never really got anywhere. I started playing it when I was like 7 or so. But I played it up until the disc broke. I actually owned this game for the PlayStation 1. I also own a PlayStation 1 somewhere. Don't have anything else, so I'm emulating it, obviously. But because I already own all of the stuff, one of it being broken, it should be fine. Now, I haven't recorded in a while, so I'm not used to this incessantly talking. I'm also pausing more than I want to, but less than I used to. So I think as soon as I'm done exploring in here, I'm going to save, quit, and call this episode a success. Even though I didn't do much. I got some decent gear, and I leveled up once, I believe. I'm almost out of mana, but, you know, such is life. Ooh, those are useful. There's a bunch of them throughout the game. 2 of them can make a crystal flask, which can be used to hold water. There's blue water, red water, green water, and then yellow water. Blue water is health, red water is mana. I know that sounds confusing, but that's how they did it. Green water just is kind of like an antidote, but it's unnecessary, I've found. And then yellow water, which you don't get till much later. I've honestly never gotten it. It's part of that whole I never 100%ed the game. It heals a great deal of both health and mana. I wonder if you can actually use this here. No, you cannot. Anyway, I'm just going to save and call it a quits for this one. Like a favorite if you enjoyed all that stuff. I don't know. It feels weird asking for likes and stuff after such a long time. I've actually gained subscribers somehow, so at least the internet hasn't lost its sense of humor. Okay. Farewell, YouTube.